Hello everyone and welcome back to 55 Fitness. My name is Emily and today we have Vanessa here. She is one of our 55 Fitness instructors and she is going to guide us through a ribcage opener, some exercises to help us with our breathing. 55 Fitness specializes in group fitness classes and personal training for women ages 55 plus. At 55 Fitness, no one ever feels intimidated, overwhelmed, out of shape, or out of place. I'm Emily. Come and join us.
Okay, thanks, Emily. So we're going to start actually with a little bit of a visual. So I've got a balloon here. I just want you to watch the balloon for a second. So you see that when the balloon blows up, there's no part of the balloon that stays still. Okay, it's not, there's no flat side. It kind of expands out in every single direction. So the same thing should happen with each of your lungs when you're breathing. And I find that people often get the front part really well. Anyone who's ever taken CPR, we know that we're looking for that up and down from the chest. But we should also be feeling that expansion through the sides of your rib cage as well as through the back. So you should actually be expanding those lungs out to the back on every inhale. So I just want to start off, we're not going to adjust anything. I just want you to sit up nice and tall, place your hands on your knees, and we're just going to do 3 breaths completely normally. So not a deep breath, just as you normally would. So let's now bring your hands up onto your rib cage. We're going to do another 3 breaths completely normally. Again, we're not altering anything, but I want you to use your hands and see if you can get some feedback on how your ribs are moving. So I like to place it so that sort of the pad of my fingers here is right at the sides of my ribs, with my fingers wrapping around front and then my thumb actually wrapping around towards the back. And let's just sit here and we're going to do another 3 breaths completely normal. All right, now we're going to start to play around with it a little bit. So first thing we're going to do is check our shoulders. So I want you to give your shoulders a nice roll up and back. So the shoulders are down away from your ears. I always like to imagine I'm like a fish with gills on my neck. So you want to give yourself lots of room for your neck. Okay, and we're going to do deep breaths in and a strong, forceful exhale. So again, we're doing 3 times. So let's go. Sitting nice and tall, shoulders back and down, breathing in and out. All right, you can take your hands down. So let's just do a quick check-in with what we were feeling. So Emily, I'm just going to ask you, with your hands up on your rib cage like that, did you feel that front to back movement where your chest and belly are kind of pushing outwards in front on the inhale?
I definitely felt the belly expand on the front, yeah.
Yeah, and with the pads of your fingers on the sides of your rib, did you feel them pushing out sideways?
Yes, I felt that the most with my ribs going out and in.
Okay, and what about into your thumb, with your thumb on the back of the rib cage? Did you feel any movement in the back of the ribs?
I felt a bit, but I feel like that's probably the area that I need to work on the most.
Okay, and that's probably true. That's really common. Getting breath into the back of your rib cage is the part that people have the most challenge with. So we're going to do a few exercises now. Emily's going to demonstrate some exercises that you can do from a seated position, and I'm going to show you what you can do with some different props if you're able to come down onto your mat. So Emily's going to start with her ball, and we're going to start with the sides of our rib cage, just trying to open that up a little bit. So Emily, I'm going to get you to put your ball into a bit of a headlock. Take that other arm and squeeze there, and just give it a good squeeze, so you're really pressing that into the side of your rib. And I'm going to take the foam roller here, and I'm going to do the same thing with the foam roller. So when you place the roller, you want to place it just below your armpit, and you can have that elbow down propping up your head. So what we're doing here is we're just bringing awareness to the side of the rib cage, whether you're using the ball or the roller. And we're just gonna sit here and we're gonna breathe into our prop for about 30 to 60 seconds. So take some deep breaths, focusing just on the part of your rib cage that's touching that prop. I really want you to start breathing into it so that you're opening up that side of your ribs. All right, let's come out of that. We're just gonna flip to the other side. So we're doing exactly the same thing on the other side. Okay, so placing your prop, again, the foam roller goes just below your armpit. And that ball is being hugged in nice and tight. And again, we're breathing into our prop, just trying to open up that side of the rib cage. You can close your eyes if you want, just relax into it, focusing on that one spot. All right, let's come out of that. And let's just pause here and just sitting, just notice if you feel any different, if you feel a little more open. Are you noticing a difference, Emily?
Definitely, yeah. I can feel a difference for sure, opened throughout the ribs.
Yeah, good. All right, we're gonna move on now to the back of the rib cage, which, as I said before, tends to be the area that we have the most difficulty with. So for this one, Emily's gonna use her TheraBand, and she's gonna wrap it around the back of the rib cage. And you're trying to do this without letting the band roll up or bunch up on you. You want it nice and flat, and it has to be pretty high up. So often I see people kind of wrapping it around your waist. Make sure it's a little bit higher up, again, just sort of below the armpit, just so that you're actually getting onto the rib cage. She's gonna cross it in front and put a little tension just so you feel it kind of hugging your ribs all the way around. I'm gonna continue on with my foam roller, and I'm gonna come to lying on it. So to get onto your foam roller, you wanna start sitting on the end and then just roll down, making sure that the back of your head is supported and your tailbone. Okay, and I'm gonna have my arms out just comfortably here. And we're gonna start, same thing, just with nice full breaths, and you're focusing now on the back of the ribs. So Emily's gonna be breathing into her TheraBand, and I'm gonna try to breathe into the foam roller. So again, you can close your eyes if you want, and just take some nice breaths here. ease ourselves off. So if you're on the roller like me, the safest way to get out is to just ease yourself down onto one leg first, kind of roll off onto your side and then push the roller out and come up to sitting. Okay, so we have one space left. The last thing we want to do is open up the front of our rib cage. So this one, Emily's going to use her ball, and for those who don't have a ball, I'm going to be using a cushion, so you can go ahead and do that. This can be done lying on your stomach on your mat. If you're not able to come down onto your mat, you can always go onto a bed or a bench. And if you're not able to do that either, you can even stand up. So if there's a wall here, you just stand facing the wall, getting nice and tight to it with your prop between you and the wall. So the spot that you're aiming for is you want to find that spot where your rib cage meets. Okay, you got it? And we're just going to put the prop kind of right there, centering it on that spot, and then come to lie on your stomach. You're going to have your hands stacked on top of each other and just go ahead and rest your head on your arms. And if this is uncomfortable for your low back, then you're going to take one leg and bring it up. Okay, so that just helps to relieve a little bit of that pressure. And we're going to go ahead, same thing that we've been doing, we're just breathing into our prop for about 60 seconds. All right, let's ease ourselves out of this position. Let's just lengthen out that leg and push yourself up. And we're going to come back to our seated position. And we're just going to check and see if we've made any progress at all. So let's go back to that tall seated position. We're going to put our hands on our rib cage. So the ball of your finger, remember, is right along the side. Fingers wrap around the front and your thumb wraps around the back. We're going to roll those shoulders back and down, giving our neck lots of space. And we're going to do 3 big forceful breaths. So strong breath in and a forceful exhale. All right, let's keep our hands there. We're going to switch back to just our regular breathing. So 3 regular breaths here. And then taking your hands off your rib cage, placing them back on your knees. 3 more regular breaths here. What do you think, Emily? Did it feel different, the last one?
Definitely, yes. Yeah, I'm definitely breathing deeper, breathing better all throughout all my sides, from the front, back, and the sides. So that was great. Thank you so much, Vanessa, for those exercises. So if you like what you saw today, make sure you subscribe to our 55 Fitness channel, and we will see you all next time. Thanks so much.